Yo, 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 yo. What up, people?
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
What's up with y'all?
Good.
Yeah, let me switch over my mic. Hold on. Now we're active. Now we're active. Cool. What do you guys got going on today?
I tagged you in a deal, in a lead that I have no idea what to do with. It's a land deal, so if you want to just throw that out to them and see if anything sticks.
Okay. Let me see. Where is it?
I gotta check, man. Give me a second. It is in Fall River.
Okay, tell me about it.
6 lots, $400K for everything. It's around $66,000 a lot. He also has a house there that we would sell for $600K. It's pretty much a retail house, but the lots is what I'm more interested in because it might be a deal because it's 6 of them behind the house, and it's all planned, boarded, approved. Yada yada yada. It's good to go.
So everything's ready to go. He already has stamped.
That's what he told me. He said, I don't know if he has. So is there a difference between plans and an approval, or is that the same thing? Okay, so he told me it was approved to be built on, and he went through the board system and did all that.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So what happens is you'll get it surveyed, right? And they'll poke the ground and they'll see if it's able to be built on from the actual land itself, right? And then from there they'll also do the coordinates and see if there's enough space to build something there, right?
Yep.
Like frontage and square footage and all that type of stuff. So they figure out if, hey, can we put something here? Like, does the soil allow us to put something here? Does the actual square foot and everything allow us to build something here? Oh, great. Okay, boom. Cool. Then what happens after that is an engineer draws up the plans for the actual property itself, and that has to get approved, right? Okay. So you have to pay an engineer to do the plans for the actual house itself and all the construction and all the sewer systems and all that type of stuff. You have to pay an engineer to do that. So I guess your question is like, hey, is there a difference between being approved and the engineer plan? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if approved meant that there was the blueprints or not.
Yeah, essentially blueprints is great. Yeah. Essentially that's what happens. You figure out, hey, does this piece of land allow you to put something here? Okay, it does. Great. Now let's draw up some blueprints and get those blueprints approved. So the blueprints, one, have to be drawn up by an engineer. Once they're drawn up by the engineer, they have to be stamped, approved by whoever is inspecting everything. That makes sense?
So can you hear me? Did I lag out?
You're like in and out.
1 second. Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
So yeah, he said he went through the board. He said he got it approved. I'd take that as in the land is buildable, maybe, but there's no actual engineering on it.
Cool. All right, cool. Well, yeah. Just send it over to me, something like this. Send it over to me. What I do is I send these out to our land guys who buy land, and we see where they need to be at. And then I go back and negotiate.
Good. Yeah. So I've already sent it to you. I even tasked it as like review. So you'll see it there.
So everybody listening, right? Me and Daryl had a podcast last night talking about the market. And we were talking about how if you're virtually wholesaling in a market that you're not too confident in, you have to go talk to your buyer, right? You have to go talk to your buyer and say, hey, where would you need this at? Now, I would recommend talking to your buyer before you start really, really negotiating. That way you have an understanding of where you need to be. So for me, I pretty much know the whole entire state of Massachusetts and Rhode Island and all that stuff. I know where we need to buy properties at. to fix and flip or maybe to hold on long term, I understand the market, right? Now, when it comes to land up here, I get it to a point, but I would much rather just let somebody else do that work for me. Give me the number, and then I'll go back to the seller and I'll negotiate that number. Okay. That's what you guys should be doing if you're not like freaking well versed in fix and flipping or buying and holding, and you're not a buyer yourself. If you're virtually wholesaling in other markets, you should be talking to your other buyer and figuring out that number, then taking that number and using that number to negotiate with your seller. So good stuff, Felipe. Yep. So yeah, I'll send that over to our land buyers and see what we can do with it.
Cool.
But here's the thing: now that you know, right? A surveyor has to go out there and figure out if the soil is good enough to build on, and then if the coordinates, like if the square footage of the lot is justifiable for putting pieces of property there. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. Then engineering happens, which means engineering the actual construction of the property. You have to pay an engineer to do that. You also have to pay the surveyor, but it's not as expensive as the engineer. The engineer is much more expensive. You pay the engineer to essentially draw up the blueprints, like you said, and then you got to get the blueprints stamped approved. Okay. So when you're talking to land buyers, now you kind of have an understanding of what information is going to help us. Because if they have everything all stamped approved, boom, ready to go, it's so much easier for the buyer to just buy it and use the plans that are already in place. Now they don't have to go get it surveyed, and they don't have to get it engineered, and they don't have to pay for all that, and they don't have to go through the whole entire process of doing that, because it's time consuming. And time consuming, what does that mean? What does that mean for a buyer? Time consuming means that's costly.
Yep.
You're paying, because what happens when these people buy properties? They're buying it with hard money, and they're paying interest every single month, right? No matter if they're land buyers or fix and flippers or whatever the case is, like they're paying interest every single month. So when they have to go through the engineer process and everything like that, that's going to cost them money if they have to close on it before that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So I would use that information, and then next time you're talking to a land buyer, just gather all that stuff.
Okay. I think I gathered everything that could have been gathered in terms of the land.
Cool.
So everything up in the notes is what he told me and what I asked.
Okay. I like it. All right. Yeah. So going forward, as like a standard operating procedure, figure out if they got it surveyed, figure out if it's buildable as far as like the square footage allows it to be buildable and frontage, figure out if they have blueprints written up or if it's been engineered, and figure out if they did have those been stamped approved.
Okay.
So those are like the three main things that you need. And then also their ask price. So that way I can just take that information and send it out to a buyer. A buyer says, hey, yeah, I'd have to be at this in order to buy it. And then we go back to the seller and renegotiate. And then that's when I'll hop on the phone with the seller and I'll negotiate the number.
Cool. I got someone to call too, but we can save that for the end.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing urgent. I talked to that lady that got her car stolen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what you exactly were planning, like what was your game plan, but just an update. If you can hear me, I'm not sure if I lagged out.
I can hear you.
270 is most likely the balance for her house.
Okay.
So if that kills the deal, I'm not sure, but that's where she's going to be at. She's pretty confident.
Cool. Got it. And what did she say about the actual deal itself? It's a sub-2 deal. Did you go into the weeds at all with that?
No, because I wasn't sure of what you were planning exactly. I just told her what you told me to say in the notes. Because honestly, I didn't read the notes. I kind of just read your first note and just went into the call and just said what she said.
What are the next steps with the lead?
I told her I want to get the exact balance because she's telling me like approximately it's going to be this, and then she said she's going to get like a letter today in the mail of the exact balance today. So I'll call her in the afternoon. And she wants to go with the plan that you said. You know, we take over the mortgage. We let her rent out the top, and the whole thing that you wrote to me. She wants to do it. Like she loved the idea, and like she's ready to go.
Okay, next steps: keep running your follow up and set up the on-site appointment.
Okay.
Good job, bro. Yeah, because this lady, I had an on-site appointment with her earlier on this week, and she canceled.
Yep.
And then she said she canceled because her car got stolen. So I'm like, is that like the dog eat your homework? Or
it's funny because when I called her, she was in the car. She was driving.
Funny, you found the car that was stolen, huh?
You found the car. I didn't
hear the window down, right? Like you hear the radio blasting in the back.
Yeah, I was hearing like the little like beeping from the car, like the seatbelt and everything, and the clicker.
Felipe said, "Hey, Karen, you must have found your car." She's like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, I thought your car got stolen. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, I just misplaced it.
I parked it somewhere, forgot it.
Straight cat.
Mm-hmm.
These sellers be lying, yo. Karen, what do you got?
I just have a question, but we can go over that later. Maybe you have a lead to call right now, right? The guy I mentioned yesterday.
Oh yeah, Todd.
Todd and Jose.
Which one's Jose?
The one I negotiated down his price.
Oh yeah. Cool. So I have to run here in like the next 15 minutes. So I don't want to hop on a call with a seller and kind of cut it short. So what I'll do, Karen, is I'll once I get back to the office here in like the next hour and a half, I gotta leave really quick. Once I get back, I'm gonna call him and then I'm gonna send you the link of the recording. Okay. I'll call both of them. So once I get back to the office, I'll call him, and then actually I'll just tag you on the CRM so you can go in the CRM and listen to the call.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my question actually is I have noticed that there are some of the notes that you guys gave an offer for a certain lead, or like Jose, right? We also gave a number for him or an idea of what we're gonna be offering. So my question is like, when or what situation would make us say a number, right? Because I believe that you once mentioned before that if a guy or if the other side of if one side says the number first, there's much possibility that he loses the deal. So something like that. So I just want to know if when do we say our number or our offer?
So we're always doing whatever it takes to get the seller's ask price before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So essentially, we don't give offers. Right? Like a lot of people will track that KPI. They'll track how many offers they're sending out, but we don't track that because we don't give offers. That's not in our sales process. We're information gatherers. We gather their ask price and we go back to the team and see if it could go back to the team and see if that number can work. Right. And then essentially we'll give a counter offer, but we're not giving initial offers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to get the seller's ask price and then go from there. Okay. However, sometimes you gotta give a number, right? Sometimes you have to figure out what we would pay for it and send that over to them because they're master freaking negotiators themselves. In that event, you fall back and you say, hey, I have to talk to the team about this one and figure it out. And then that's when we come on here, or you toss it over to me and I give you a MAO. Or you use the MAO calculator and you say, hey, the team said that we'll have to be somewhere around here, right? And then be silent and see what they say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Team said we're probably going to be team said before seeing it in person, we're probably going to be around $100,000. And then be silent, see what they say. And then the funny thing is when they're like, oh no, that's not what I want to do. Okay, where were you hoping that we would land? And now you're back to square one. You're back to information gathering, figuring out their number. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it's not like a lot of people think of wholesaling like you're submitting offers on the MLS, which means like you're submitting offers to realtors, right? And a lot of people will. Here's a business model that people will use. I don't like it. It's not my personality. I don't know. It's just not what I do. But a lot of people will literally just have a whole team of people calling realtors and saying, hey, I want to buy this house, or not even a conversation like through the phone. They'll just send emails to all the realtors. Like our realtor right now that's listed on Novation got a bunch of emails from a bunch of investors sending lowball cash offers, literally, without even having a conversation with the realtor. So that is a strategy that people use, and essentially that is offers. So what do? They track how many offers or how many emails with offers that they send over to realtors that they send a week in order to land a contract. But that's just not how we operate. We operate we're information gatherers. We're a little bit
Yeah.
more badass than the people just sending emails. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Got it.
Cool. Felipe, what was the last thing? Oh, you wanted to get on a call? You're on mute, bro.
My bad. If you're short on time though, I don't want to cut the call
You're
short.
good. Worst case scenario, I can end up just leaving the live and you guys can stay on.
All right. This guy is the 14 unit guy. So let's see what's going on with him.
14 unit. Let's rock and roll. What's the strategy on the call?
Just gather basically his profit loss, you know what I mean? How much money does he actually make? And just collect the numbers for now.
Ask him for a T12.
T12. Okay.
If he owns a 14 unit building, he should know what a T12 is. And I think we went over that yesterday. Essentially, a T12 is all the numbers, all the expenses, all the things.
Yep.
But Karen, that's a really good question, because a lot of people get caught up with that. They're like, Mike, how many offers do I need to send in order to get a contract? I'm like, dude, we don't even send offers. We track conversations. How many conversations over a minute are you having? Right?
Yeah.
So that's why our KPI is somewhere around 25 conversations per day per acquisition manager. But it's not like we need to submit 3 offers a day or 5 offers a day. That's how many conversations.
Mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
Come on, man. Don't do this to me.
Guys, one more episode of How to Wholesale. One more. We're going to bang it out tomorrow.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept.
If you didn't triple dial, did you actually call him?
I don't know. Did I?
Probably not.
The mailbox is full.
Okay. Yeah, he's not picking up.
Felipe said the other day, he was like, bro, I couldn't imagine in the beginning ever double dialing somebody. Now homeboy is triple dialing people.
I remember that. Yeah.
What did you say exactly?
I was like, when I first started, I thought I was bothering them, and it was just an uncomfortable feeling. What's up, Harvey? Happy Thursday. I was like, dude, I can never double dial someone. Like, that's just so awkward, cringy. You know what I mean? And then you slowly get desensitized to it. You're like, man, it's just a freaking button. Just fucking click it. And then, but what gives you the confidence, what gives me the confidence to double dial is that I've learned to overcome that objection. If they say, why are you calling me twice? Like, I know I can get out of 90% of whatever conflict happens in the beginning of the call.
Anything, bro.
Yeah. I literally had a guy today. He was pissed that I called because he says, "Are you the guys from Silver Home? You guys keep calling me," and I was like,
yeah, dog. You want to sell your house?
Yeah, my instant fallback is just act stupid. Like, oh my gosh, like have we been calling? Like I just say, like I act like I don't know what's going on, and then I don't know where the guy just starts helping me about. He's telling me about the markets in Texas. Like, yo, I got a hard money lender down there if you want help. Like I know a guy, a builder there if you want to plug on some rentals. Like, dude came at yelling at me the first 30 seconds, and I converted the call and made a friend.
So here's the thing, right? Today, I left my phone. I go to meet a buyer at a property, right? And I left my phone at the freaking office, and I needed to get it. But I was late for the freaking appointment because I left my phone in the office. So I rushed back to the office, okay? And I'm driving like a madman. And I might have cut somebody off. You know what I'm saying? Not on purpose, but I was driving a little bit crazy. Okay?
Drifting in Brockton.
Homeboy follows me to the freaking office.
No way. You're joking.
Yeah, he follows me to the office. I didn't even know that he followed me to the office until I get out of my car and he lays on the horn. I look at him, I'm like, excuse me. I knock at his window. I'm like, is there a problem? He's like, you drive crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like trying to get some information out of me, like I'm gonna give a reaction, like I'm like he wants to fight me or something, right? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, sorry, dude, I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I'm like, yeah, man, sorry. I honestly just got somewhere to go. I didn't even see you there. My bad. And he's still yelling at me and yelling at me and yelling at me to the point where he literally just got so mad that he rolled up the window and bounced. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, bro, I knocked on the window because I'm like, all right, well, what's the worst thing that's going to happen here? He's just going to yell at me. I know I'm not going to sit there and yell at him back. That's going to make the situation worse. Just like if you answer the phone, if he answered the phone after you calling him 3 times and he's aggravated and you like give him some aggravation back, or he sensed that you're scared or something like that, or you're like being a little wimp about it, right? That's going to mess up that call. Or if you just go in completely regular, like I did with homeboy that followed me, like, dude, my bad. I'm just driving a little bit crazy today. I'm late. You know what I'm saying? I got places to be.
Yeah, that guy doesn't have any places to be because he has time to follow you.
Yeah, but yeah, homeboy literally has time to follow me to my freaking office. I now I understand why you're mad. You know what I'm saying?
You got nothing to do.
No shit.
Shit, I ain't got time to follow people around the city.
Right. And this city's crazy, bro. I wouldn't want to follow somebody anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he's looking for some aggravation. It's like that negative energy just wants negative energy back. He ain't getting that shit from me. Harvey asked a question. Do you have an onboarding process for your lead managers? What does that look like? I just hired a lead manager. I'm having trouble knowing what information to share without overwhelming them with too much information. So Harvey, here's the thing. As far as onboarding, I guess there could be two different aspects of onboarding. One is like prospecting people and finding the actual talent, right? The way that we do that actually is just internally. Like we're hiring 2 more VAs. I reached out to Karen today and I said, or yesterday, and I said, hey Karen, we need 2 more team members. Do you know anybody, maybe family members or friends or just people in your network that would want to work? And she says, yeah, great. So she's setting me up with some calls. That's actually how we've grown. We started with an agency and then we kind of just grew internally from there. So that's how we find our talent. Not the most like efficient way of doing it. Like if we needed somebody today, it might be, there's definitely a little bit better process and we're thinking about implementing that soon here in the future. But so for talent, that's what we have done up to this point. As far as like onboarding when it comes to coaching and getting them up to speed, we use what we call a player coach model, right? So we do have a script and we have like a structure that the cold callers and texters and lead managers and even our salespeople abide by. So we teach them that, we give them that. However, it's more of like an on the job type of thing. So Karen came up as an acquisition manager. As she did that, we needed to bring somebody up to lead manager. Her name is Alex. So what Karen and Alex did is they hopped on calls for like 30 to 45 minutes a day, going back and forth. Alex would call somebody, Karen would call somebody. Alex would call somebody, Karen would call somebody. And Karen would give Alex feedback of what was going on. So that's what we call like the player coach model. So essentially, Karen was in that position before. She knows exactly what needs to happen. So Karen ended up coaching Alex on how to do so. Karen is a better lead manager than I would be. So why not have her coach up Alex on what she's doing and what her process looks like? And essentially that's what our onboarding is. But there is a time where we go over like, hey, here's the expectations, here's what we're looking for, here's the scripts, here's the structure of what we need to abide by. And we don't overwhelm them with too much stuff. It's more like, hey, here's kind of the structure. Now go create some chaos, right? Go fuck up some leads and have Karen give you feedback. Cool. All right, people. I'm gonna be freaking late. I'm actually gonna have some people following me if I don't hurry up. So we appreciate y'all. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep rocking and rolling, man. I'm excited for next week. We have a new series coming out. Yes, sir, bro. Player coach model. It's gangster. It actually, like Karen, think about it. Think about how quick Alex got caught up at speed. And now she's just cranking. So love it. All right, people. We appreciate y'all watching. Karen, I'm gonna call those people, I promise, here in the next like hour or two. Y'all have a good day.